So what's up guys, so we've now got our image coloured in and we've applied some advanced filter techniques in order to go ahead and manipulate the colours a little better into the colours we want just by right clicking those layers and adding a filter mask to those layers. You right click, add your filter, you set your filter mask and you set your hue and your saturation higher or lower depending on whether you want more colour or less colour, whether you want it to be bright or less bright. Um, like less brighter than a 10? Less bright. Excuse me. Okay, so now we move slightly into the more advanced side of the color application. Um, as we did before when we applied our variation layer in order to apply our light effects. Remember all the way back when we first made our original image, we went ahead and set a light level adjustment layer in order to create a more realistic tone to what we were trying to do. So what would happen if we were going if we were to go ahead and add that to let's say a skin tone layer. So let's go ahead and add, and we're going to say we're going to add a filter mask, and then we're going to say it's going to be a color adjustment mask. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to replicate the settings we had earlier with that. This. Okay. I'm going to just play and adjust, play and adjust. And I'm going to come in at around about there and I'm going to say, okay, that's what I want. She does look a little bit red at the moment, which is fine. Come back off a tiny, tiny. You should just, there you go. So now she lays in better and you can see the colours sit a little bit more naturally onto the image itself. So if we were to go ahead and do this to the left way as well, so we right click on this one, we go add filter mask, and we're in the color adjustment layer. Now we're watching for how the colors change on the left way because that's the layer we're working on. Left person here on the skin tone. Okay, so as we said before, we're going to replicate our light and darkness like we did before because it matters. Okay, we're going to stretch these down a little bit. Still, again, it's a little bit red, but we can back that off a little bit and say okay. Now, what I want you to notice is the left and right person, center person. Okay. Now, we haven't done a great deal of changes here. We've done a very small amount of changes that have applied a massive amount of change to the actual image itself. Again, just in your opacity to where you're happy with the skin tone in order to get where you want to be at. We've achieved 3 levels of skin tone and we've achieved 3 levels of application right here at the same time. What you're seeing is the very soft tones of this image coming together in order to drive home these colours. The last one we should actually make a filter mask. This one. Now we go add to this one again with a filter mask. Again, replicate our technique. We want this layer to come in nice and dark, and the dark tones of their hair, but the highlights of their hair we want to be down here somewhere. Pull that down. See, affecting it very slightly. Still want this to come in quite dark. Yeah. Then the light. Whoops. A little bit more. Just try and a bit more of a gradient dark. And then only extreme during the light tones. So that means that this needs to come along this way like this. Okay. I'm looking at the wrong person. Cancel that. Don't want that. I'm looking at the wrong person, which is what was going on. I was looking over here, I was thinking, this is changing as much as I wanted. That's good, we can click cancel there and go add filter mask. And as you can see, the filter mask's back to normal. Let's try and do what we originally intended to do this. Okay, want tone set darker, so we're going to do a little bit. Okay. So as we can see there, applying the colours in the correct saturation level shows us a little bit of grey and come through. If we don't want that to happen all so much, we can force the light layers to become darker by extenuating curve to almost like this kind of method to drive in a lot of colour and a lot of position. But we don't want to do that. We want to drive colour up and in, but we don't want to highlight all the top tones. We want to leave them out. As you can see here, this is like adding saturation. This is your saturation, and this one right here is your brightness, your light tone. So you can bring your lightness out, and you can bring your saturation up, which is going to make it more ginger. Take that down, that's going to take it more brown. Bring your light up, which is going to give a grey haired kind of look. Drag that one out, bring the saturation back up again. We want short range saturation on this side, like this. This will make the colours a bit more darker. If I do more of a bend in the center, then it's going to change how that looks. Okay. So I really am just screwing around with this now, just to give you an example of what you can do and the tones you can force out of it. So here you go. Force them back into this is more to the grey tones that I want to apply to this lady's hair. The way I see her, I apologize if that's not the way she is. Okay, so we've applied these colours and tones back into our image. We like where that's at. Little boy's fine. I'm still not liking this blonde boy's highlights, so go back into there and find where his highlights are, which is on this layer right here. We go ahead in here, we go add, go filter mask, and then we're going to look at the conversion layer. I almost only want to apply the colours to the darker layers like this. And just pull this and arrange this where it needs to be. I don't want too much saturation in it, but I still need enough to colorize it. There we go. That's a little bit more into the color range that I was looking for. Okay, so now you've seen the slight advancement of being able to select which colors, which sections of the colors you want highlighted, and which sections you don't. You can go ahead and add this to multiple layers. As you can see, what I've already added to a lot of the layers is an adjustment layer. And what this is just looking at is this is going to convert the hue, saturation, and lightness of the image in order to just twinge the colors into the ranges where I want them. So say if you get a slightly off yellow and you want to twinge it back into a more suitable yellow, then you're going to add the HSV one, which is going to allow you to change the color. Whereas if you want to define that color or to pressurize that color and make it look more realistic, then you need to go ahead and bend the color application layer as well in order to suit the background shadow layers. Also using your multiply and your burn tools here will also soften the blow and bring things heavily into focus like such. To the point where you're going to be able to see your image come through nice and clearly. The brick wall here still needs a bit of work, so I'm just going to go in here and do the same thing to this one. I'm going to go ahead now. Filter mask, it's going to be a color adjustment mask. Come down here and I'm going to say, I want you to get all the nice dark tones in that wood, but not necessarily all the light tones. There. I don't know why that's applying into the wrong layer, and I'm going to cancel it. Okay, so this filter mask right here is for the. Hang on. I'm gonna go right. I'm gonna add filter mask. I don't understand why that went, but never mind. We'll make sure that we do it now. Okay, so I'm going to twinge it down a little. I want for the brick saturation color going on. Okay, dragging these closer together will give you more of the tone over less of the range. Dragging them further apart gives you more of that tone over the range. So you get demonstrate this in as many different ways in the video as possible. So yeah, I'm going to probably apply my curve around about there purely because I want the higher range of the colours to show through. I'm going to go back to my brick wall and I'm just going to crank it up a little bit just to see the colours that I've created. And I'm kind of liking those. That's okay. Excellent. And then I'm going to see where my plank layer's gone. There's a real wall layer right here. That's these two layers. So if I right click on these again, add filter mask, and on these layers it's quite a bit darker to be honest, so we're going to be grabbing more of the dark range, push into the greys, bring the colour definition down somewhat, okay, cut off all those high tones. I don't want the back to be so bright, and I'm going to drive up on this section right here in order to give me a bit more brightness. And I'll come back down and see what it does down here. It doesn't seem to be doing a hell of a lot. That's okay. To break out our curve a bit more, we can drag this one further out, bring this one further down to push our curve back in towards the colour we want. But I don't. I want the washed out colour from this range. And then we've got the nice wood tone down here. Say okay to that. Okay. So there we have it. We've kicked up our image just a little bit just by playing with the levels and by applying some extra filters. And you can begin to really look after and extract all those great qualities that you want from a layer. It's got all that information there anyway, so you might as well try to gain that access or gain those colours you want. Okay for that. So when you come back in here, you can just see all I've done. So force the colours to go very much onto the darker areas, but not onto the lighter areas. So force the lighter areas to remain light while the darker areas become more deep. So that gives us then some more photorealism. Again, cleaned up the eyes, cleaned up any excess that we've got left over, and then this image is then ready to go. So again, I thank you for joining me. Please like and subscribe any videos that you see of mine. If you have any questions, leave them below. Don't forget to hit that bell if you want to be notified every time a new video comes on. And I will still see you all again. Bye bye.